First of all, it's historic. I don't care what league you're in. I mean, my son's baseball team didn't go undefeated. They were pretty good. If you go undefeated in sports, it's very special no matter what. To go undefeated, it takes a ton of resolve, resilience, energy, commitment, trust, belief, a lot of rowing. Very difficult because you get everybody's A+ game, and to be at your A+ all the time, we're not perfect. We're not perfect people. We're not a perfect football team. We're very real. But it was historic. It's wonderful for the city of Kalamazoo, who's had a very tough year with the shootings and the bicycle accidents. If we could provide energy and hope for just a little bit, and to give them and their families some type of relief to get away from what they're thinking about every single day, we did our job. I told you before, I'm not a head football coach to win. I'm here to produce winners, and I'm here to affect communities and serve and give as much as we can. And that's what our players have done all year. That's why they're a champion. Not because we have the best players, not because we have the best coaches, not because we have the best facilities. It's truly because we have the best people. And it just shows the power of people. Started out with Kathy Beauregard's vision, Dr. Dunn's vision. And they were crazy enough to hire me. And then from there I got other people who were crazy enough to work for me. And then we found players crazy enough to play for them and me, and to believe in this row the boat vision. We've just come such a long way. Again, it's for our community, it's for the 66 team, it's for the 88 team, 16 team, past Broncos, current Broncos, future Broncos. It's a historic day in Western Michigan's history, and we deserve to be in the gosh darn Cotton Bowl. Period. Write it down.
Agreed.
One guy, great. That ain't gonna help the committee, people.
Coach, you referenced the community. Most of that community showed up for that 45,000 plus that championship. How big was that, especially when you guys were a few years
The
ago?
boatyard from Waldo Stadium came rowing into Ford Field, set a record attendance record. So proud of our community, so proud of our fans, our parents, of our players. Remember when we first got here, we took Kalamazoo and drew a 6-hour radius around it. And everybody thought we were crazy. You can't get any players out of there. It's Big Ten country. You got to go in the South. We've kept 80% of our players right here. And the whole vision of that was to be able to create an atmosphere at Waldo Stadium, be able to name it the Boatyard or something one day, that it was that important to protect. And it's because of the families, the moms, the dads, the brothers, sisters, aunt, uncles, grandparents, teachers, friends of their community. We had people from all over the state of Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, Wisconsin, Iowa, drive here. And that's the point. If they have to fly here from Texas, Florida, wherever, that's not where the majority of our players come from. We wanted to create that atmosphere years back. And not every place is like that. It works here. And I'm so glad we did that. We have incredible people on this football team. The players deserve all the credit in the world. It is so hard to do what they did. And they have no idea. I promise you. They have no idea what they just did. 10 years from now, they're going to look back and go, well, that was absolutely elite. Coach was right. That was one of the most amazing things in my entire life. But now it's the expectation. And now comes more pressure. It's the way life is if you want to be elite.
Coach, to use your
take me to the last drive there. Ohio obviously had a little bit of momentum. They did move the ball and they won. Take me through your emotions during that final drive and emotions and Robert.
How much time you got?
You got all the time.
No, I will say I don't know if I was breathing during that, but we had a conversation on the headset, and I told Ed, I said, I'd pick him, I said, hey, listen, at the beginning of this thing, we talked about defense winning championships, and I said, I believe in you. We're gonna get this thing, and they did. It's only fitting that Robert Spillane strips the ball at Northwestern to make us 1-0. Because we're not 13-0 without 1-0. And they are going in to score. At the goal line, he rips the ball loose. And then Robert Spillane ends the story, ends the book of the regular season with a pick. Only fitting. And but the emotions were up and down. But I just believe in this team. I knew that they would find a way to win this football game. Now, take it back 3 years ago, we would have found a way to lose the football game. This team has failed so much that they're a champion.
What about
Failing equals growth.
What about Zach? I mean, he throws the 2 interceptions. The last one seemed like it could have been costly, and you trust him to throw the ball again late.
He's the best player on our football team. He's the biggest leader on our football team. Championship game, put the ball in his hand. That's the #1 defense in the conference that we were playing. That's a Frank Solich football team. They are one of the best teams in our conference. The second best team now. But Frank Solich and his team deserve all the credit in the world. They came out and punched us right in the mouth. And it was a battle. That's a championship game. I mean, that's what it should look like. I know everybody's like, well, you don't beat it by 25 points. Is it a failure? If that's the expectation now, you got to let me know that. All right? Because 13-0 sounds pretty good to me, whatever way we can get it. But you got to give Frank Solich and his football team a lot of credit. He's a class act. He's a Hall of Famer. I have learned so much from Frank Solich in all of our head coaching meetings. He has been nothing but first class to me, sits by me at head coaches meetings, educates me, talks me through different things, and he never had to do that as a young punk 32-year-old walking in the room not knowing anybody. And class act, incredible football team. That defense was stingy. It wasn't we played bad. They made us play bad. They forced turnovers. And got to give them all the credit in the world. But Zach Terrell, 32 touchdowns, 33, whatever it is, 32 touchdowns and 3 picks. It's a pretty good year.
Coach, to use your words, Robert Spillane was one of those crazy kids that was recruited and won a lot of the season. See what he did earlier in the season, see what he did tonight. Can you talk us through the emotion of just seeing that happen on the field tonight and knowing what the ramifications of what that meant for the Ohio?
Well, Robert Spillane's from the north side of Chicago, Fenwick High School. And I still remember him sitting in my office. We hadn't had anybody committed in that first class. This was after Corey Davis's class. This was our true full class. And I remember sitting down and I offered him. And I just kind of poked him a little bit to see how far he'd go. And gosh darn it, the kid committed on the spot. First commit ever in terms of like your real first class after the Corey Davis class. And his mom said, no you didn't. You are not committing today. He's like, Mom, I belong here. This is my destiny. I've never heard a kid say destiny in a head coach's meeting. This is my destiny. And his mom, Gretchen's just like, you gotta be kidding me. Wait till we tell your dad. This is February. This is your first junior day. Look what happened. I'm so proud of him, and I'm so glad he's on our football team, and I'm so glad we had that day in my office. And he was a big-time running back at the time. And he was going to play linebacker for us. So.
Coach, you just said the word destiny. That he said that. Take me through the destiny of what happened tonight with the story you just told.
Well, we talked about there's a few things. When we started this thing, Kathy Beauregard came to me and I said, listen, we'll create expectations and pressure, and if you want a championship, eventually we'll get a championship. We said those who stay will be champions. Bo Schembechler quote, he gave it to Joe Novak. Joe Novak gave it to me as a player, and then I shared it with my football team. And there's been a lot of people that have exited the program and not necessarily believed. But I hope everybody learned a valuable lesson tonight in life. If you just keep your oar in the water, no matter how bad your situation is. Kids at home, if you're getting bullied, I was bullied. Keep your oar in the water, just keep rowing. If you got cancer, you're fighting some type of disease. Kids in the children's hospital with leukemia, just keep your oar in the water and keep rowing. If you're going through a divorce, going through a loss of a child, you're going through being fired at work, or in the water. Eventually, if you just continue to stay positive and you continue to serve and give and make it not about yourself and make it for a greater cause, you'll come out of it on top and you'll finally get to some calm seas. But the biggest difference between very successful teams and very successful people is when they hit roadblocks, most unsuccessful people stop. They consider themselves failures. They quit. Failing equals growth. That team is full of failing. And they learned from it. They grew from it. It's been an incredible journey. We believe in the process, one day at a time. Change your best. And people can call it gimmicks. People can call me a hokey coach. People can call me fake. You can call me anything you want in the world. All that matters to me is what those guys think about me in that room, coaches and players, my wife, my kids, the people that love me, and the people that know me and this program and know how real it truly is.
Coach, are you concerned that going forward, the speculation about your future, your status is going to be a distraction?
No, it shouldn't be about it. Nothing should be a distraction away from those kids. Everything about college football is about kids.
But will be distraction for them.
These kids are, one thing I'll say is, we are going to celebrate this tonight, period. I said before, I haven't talked to anybody, and that's been the 100% truth. We're going to do it the right way, and then moving on as we continue to go here, we'll see. But one thing I'll tell about this football team is, they're the most resilient football team I've ever been around. I'm very, very proud of them. And they created this, not me. They created this.
At a time like this, could you even really imagine leaving the PJ?
I don't think you can ever imagine anything but what you're feeling right now. And that is jubilation, joy, being a proud parent. And one thing I've learned in this coaching profession, if you don't live in the moment, you're going to be miserable. And I don't want to be miserable tonight. I'm living for right now.
It seems almost certain that you'll play in the Cotton Bowl, and most projections have you against a Big Ten team. You were a MAC player, you're a MAC coach. Do MAC guys want to measure themselves against the top of the Big Ten? Is that kind of a natural?
I'll be honest with you, we keep comparisons away from our program as much as we can. Comparisons steal your joy. You know, whether you're too skinny or you're too fat or you're too tall or you're too short or I'm not like this girl and I'm not like this guy. I think comparisons in 2016 take away these young people's joy in an instant gratification type world with a lot of things thrown at them. So I don't want anything to take away from what they're doing right now and how they're feeling, period.
Let's take one last one right here. Brought up the Cotton Bowl. Will you be paying attention to the Navy tomorrow afternoon and then Sunday afternoon?
I don't think there's anybody to pay attention to. Who are we paying attention to?
Nobody.
Why are we paying attention to anyone? We are 13-0. We're the best group of 5 team in the country. We didn't lose a game. Whoever they put on our schedule, we beat. There's 2 undefeated teams in the country, us and Alabama. There is no argument. My TV will be off. We will be recruiting tomorrow. I'm not going to watch anybody. Period. I'm going to wear cotton shirts. I'm going to have cotton slippers. I'm going to have cotton earmuffs. I'm going to have a cotton jacket. I'm going to wear everything cotton from here on out. You got it. Roll the boat.